Hello and welcome to Mr. Edwards' Forest School. Today we're looking at bug hunts and bug hotels, or mini beast hunts if you like, and mini beast hotels. So we're looking at the insect world and all the small things that live underneath our feet and in the wood around us. Now insects have been in decline over the past few decades as people use ground for other things. Their habitat is being lost. So mammals and birds are also in decline because of course they use the same habitats, but they also rely on the insects for food as well. And at Forest School we do take resources from the forest and we do like to give things back as best we can, and one way we can do that is to build bug hotels. So really what we're looking at is where would a bug like to live really. So if we're talking about habitat loss, that's why they're in decline, we need to give them a habitat they can live in. Now obviously here in the woods it's a perfect habitat for insects, and you can see behind me as the trees come down, it's actually an old birch tree, a massive one, and in between the bark and the wood is a really ideal place for all the insects to kind of live and breed. It's protected from the elements, it keeps them damp, which they love, and it keeps them protected from birds, and at least until the bark actually sort of decomposes enough, and then of course you'll see creatures come in and feast. So it's all part of the cycle of life really, and insects are such an important part. I mean, not only do they feed mammals and birds, I mean they actually are part of the process of breaking things down to become soil, which is of course a really important part of the whole cycle of nature. So if you're going to go, if we start with the mini beast hunts, if you're going to go on a mini beast hunt, really you don't really need anything, maybe apart from being dressed appropriately. If it's really wet, you're going to want some waterproofs on your legs if you're on the ground a lot, and some sort of way of IDing them, some identification book. I'm sure there's probably an app on the phone or something that you can find, but I'm aware that there's a lot of books out there and lots of children have them. And a lot of the insects you're going to find are going to be your basic kind of things. So you've got worms, beetles, you're going to see centipedes, the orange things are quite fast, you're going to see millipedes, which are sort of black coiled up things. Obviously you'll find ants, you're going to find ladybirds I've already found in the woods today. So they've got a lot of familiar things, okay? But if you have the magnifying glass, perhaps you can actually experience looking at them a bit closer. You're going to look under logs really. Perhaps lift up bark that's coming away from a decomposing tree. Try not to actually rip the bark off or actually kick the log into disintegration. What we're doing is we're trying to keep their habitat whole, but we're just having a look. We're just going to share with them their habitat for a moment, have a look and pop them back. That's really important. So we don't want to see a sort of trail of destruction on a mini beast hunt, because we're going to respect where they live and we're going to put the bits back. Okay, so I'm going to show you, I'm going to have a little walk down here. I'm just going to show you a few things on the way. I'll do my best with the camera. So this is a old birch tree that's come down. I think it's dead. Certainly the bottom part is, that's for sure. And obviously here you have all the exciting stuff that bugs are going to like. You can see, I hope that there are holes where bugs have come in. You've got bark here which you could sort of lift up, and as you look up the trunk you can see where all the bugs have made their homes. Okay, so it's an important part of nature's cycle, as I say, and we're quite lucky here in this sort of bit of wood that's hardly used, because some of these trees have been left just to naturally decompose, and you don't often get that very much, but I'm sure the wind will take them soon. I quite like this little area of our woodland. And here you can see, basically, as I said, this is the process of wood becoming soil, really. If I just gently come over here, I did notice that we've got some ants actually stirring already in this ant's nest. Not sure if I can get to focus on any here. There's a few there, I'm sure you can see them. It's maybe a bit early, being February, for that, but they obviously know better than me. But what's happening is obviously our winters are becoming warmer, and all things are coming out sooner. Trees are sort of seeding and blooming 2 weeks earlier at the moment. So we can only do our best. So what I've done here earlier, with my children actually came down. That is my 3-year-old's bug hotel. I mean, she could almost sleep in that. It's fantastic construction. She only needs a little bit of help with the sticks. And there's my other daughter's one there. This is more like a kind of what I would call a dead wood pile habitat. Definitely for insects a great place. It's got the bark for covering and, she said, for windows, which I thought was lovely. And then you've got, there's a little one here. Of course bugs are small, so that's absolutely fine that we've got a small bug hotel here. Okay, so you can kind of combine a bug hunt, obviously, certainly the knowledge of a bug hunt with a bug hotel. Now we put these by the stream here. I'll just quickly show you that, because we figured in these long dry summers this would actually stay wetter for longer for the bugs. So there was some thought to it, but of course this is in the woods where their natural habitat is kind of given to them. I'm thinking that maybe we can also do, you certainly at home can also do bug hotels in your garden, because I often, well, we have bug hotels in our garden. We do walk to the woods, we find things often that we think, oh, it'd be nice with a bug hotel, we bring it back and it's kind of expanded over time. But again, if you can give over a little bit of your garden to, well, number one, to be wild, that's the best thing. But if you give over a bit of your garden to be wild and also put a bug hotel in it to actually help the insect populations grow, even better. And I'm sure you can see it's not a difficult thing. You're just going to put stuff together and to give them dead wood, which they need, some shelter, just basically help them get on. There's no right or wrong with this, with the bug hotel. I've done this here, and I'm actually square lashed. We've seen that in the previous video. Just showing you how useful that could be. I mean, certainly I could make this into a den for a toy or something from this point. I've got this, 2 Y-shaped pieces hammered into the ground, a piece going across the top, and then 2 square lash pieces going on top of that. And for me, I suppose I could, to start with, I've got some bark here. It's not bark I've peeled off a tree, it's just literally bark that I found lying around. We've seen a few bugs in it for sure. But I was just going to make a little sort of layer here for them to get under. My daughter here, she put quite a bit of bark in and said to keep them cosy like a blanket, and I thought that was a really good way to say it. Obviously it is actually trying to keep the damp in as well. So I've put that in here, and I've just picked some old, this is birch, and as I say, the reason this is good, I'm just going to lay this up here. The reason this is good is because you may be able to see that the bark's actually loose here. The wood's sort of decaying inside, but the bark's actually got a lot of oils in it that make it resistant to water, so that kind of stays. Birch is actually great for all sorts of things, but I thought it'd be quite nice for the bugs because they can hide in it. So I was literally going to put my bits up the side like so, in no particular fashion, just to try and give a little structure that they could potentially hide in or whatever. Some other bits here, doesn't really matter so much how it was done. As I say, obviously gathering the resources is the biggest part of this, and adults, that's probably going to be your main job if you're going to be helping. It's going to be getting them a nice pile of sticks, because you can never have too many sticks, and then they'll do the rest pretty much. And I'm just making a little roof, just with the bits I've got. Just want to show you some quick kind of thing you can do. And then inside you can stuff loads of leaves and other things. And there you have a very simple bug hotel. Just quickly can show you what it is. So you've got lots of an entrance in there, and you've got a bit of bark there. Okay, and that's it. So basically we're looking at bug habitats. If you know what a bug habitat's like, you should be able to build a bug hotel, and you certainly should be able to find them. So good luck with all that, and have fun.